So one thing that Wuthering Waves has especially been working on ever since version 2.0 is their advertising. Now obviously one way that I said that they could advertise in some of my previous videos was their kind of outreach to other platforms, including places like the PlayStation and also some other ones which we're going to talk about in this video, because I wanted to go through all of the available platforms that Wuthering Waves is actually on, and then going through some of the future ones that we could see, and talking about some, other gacha games that have had past experiences with some of these other platforms, and how Wuthering Waves could continue to grow their game by actually outreaching to some of these like they've done with the PlayStation version, and also some of the upcoming versions that are actually set to come out very, very soon. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy it, and also go to GameStop, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there, so I definitely recommend you guys go over there, check it out, because again, really, really nice. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So this was actually a page I actually stumbled across, which was from Game 8. Now, if you don't know, Game 8 is a massive, massive website. I'm pretty sure they're based over in Japan, and pretty much it lists off everything to do with some of the platforms that we see Wuthering Waves on, and it actually has a really nice guide here, literally telling us the availability and what platforms it's on. So obviously you got the PC, Windows, PC, Mac, mobile, and PlayStation 5. These are all the ones that it's available on. Now obviously the Mac version isn't actually available yet, and this is one of the upcoming ones I was talking about, which is Wuthering Waves actually coming out on the Apple Mac Store, which again is going to help it kind of grow and help to kind of get a little bit more attention from other kind of platforms, including the Mac. I know there's not very many people that do play, Wuthering Waves on a Mac, or literally any game on a Mac, because let's be real, Macs aren't exactly built for that. But there are some people who might, have a Mac, want to try it out or something like that, which again is going to be very good just for the outreach of Wuthering Waves. And I feel like, Wuthering Waves has done a good job of getting most of the main platforms out there, including mobile, PC, and PlayStation. I feel like those are the main kind of audiences that you can actually get a lot of money and revenue from. But it would be nice to see them reach out to these smaller platforms, which maybe has less players, but it also picks up, a couple of new players that you didn't have before, which again would just be really, really great. So let's start off with some of the ones that we could actually see Wuthering Waves coming to, and the first one being the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, if you don't know, Nintendo actually announced recently that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be coming out very, very soon, and obviously they're doing this event here over in London with an experience where people can actually try it out in April. So it is very close to release, meaning that we could see some new releases coming to the game. And what Nintendo like to do is they like to introduce some games that they didn't make as well. Obviously, I know that, the Switch has a lot of games to do with like Mario, everything like that, which is their own kind of brand, but also they bring in a lot of other games which can also be played on there, which again would just be great overall. And the best thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 is that the hardware has actually gotten better, meaning that it can run games better. And I forgot exactly what the analogy was, but there was some kind of comparison to another, I think it was like a PS4 Pro. It could actually run at that kind of performance and everything like that, which honestly could be really great, especially with Wuthering Waves, because obviously, as you know, Wuthering Waves is a very graphical game, meaning that, maybe the Switch 2 could actually handle it. I think if we were to, go to the Switch 1, that wouldn't work at all. Obviously, a lot of people have been saying that, especially whenever we start to talk about the Nintendo Switch and the kind of future of that. I don't think that's going to happen, just because obviously, yeah, the kind of hardware just isn't there. It's almost built like a mobile. It's just not really going to run. So hopefully the Nintendo Switch 2 actually has some better kind of hardware in there, which actually allows it to run. And hopefully the two companies actually do collaborate, and we do see Wuthering Waves over on the Switch, because again, I think that is the next biggest audience that Wuthering Waves can hit. And I think the Switch will be a massive hit among Wuthering Waves players, and it's also going to be a massive dunk on Genshin Impact, because obviously, if you don't know, this is another page on Game 8 talking about the Nintendo Switch release date for Genshin Impact, which it says a little bit further down, no release date for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, as of March 2025, there's been no news or announcements. So again, we haven't heard news ever since it was announced ages ago. I forgot exactly when it was, what the actual date was, whenever they released a trailer. Like, they even released a whole trailer saying coming soon and everything, but it just never happened. And I feel like it's not going to happen. Maybe it will come out on the Switch 2 whenever that does actually happen. But for the Switch 1, I just don't think Genshin Impact's even going to come out there. And hopefully, maybe Wuthering Waves can actually sneak in a little deal with the Switch 2 and get in there before them, because honestly, that would just be the best kind of dunk on them, and I can't wait to see that. But also, if we look back at some past kind of platforms as well that Wuthering Waves have actually been on, the PlayStation Store is a perfect example, because they've been doing absolutely amazingly, killing it. Obviously, I talked about this in a video previously. It has 13,000 ratings, which means there's a lot of people playing this game and a lot of people actually downloading it, which means it has been a massive success for, you know, Wuthering Waves and for PlayStation in general, which might actually catch the eyes of Xbox. If you don't know Xbox, you know, they've been kind of in a little bit of a console war, although apparently they're thinking about ending it soon. So again, maybe they're going to pick it up over on Xbox as well, because they actually did acquire Genshin Impact very, very recently. So again, it seems to be doing pretty good for them too. And just getting it on all of the platforms available. Honestly, the big two that, you know, Wuthering Waves needs to get on, I say needs to get on, but, you know, it'd be nice to get on, would be the Nintendo Switch 2, which is coming out, and also the Xbox. I think those two are the main two kind of audiences that you want to hit, not only just because it's a different kind of platform, but it also gets you on a different store. It gets you on a different, I guess, like area for discovery, because, you know, the only kind of discovery that Wuthering Waves can do is through trailers and through the advertisement that they do on their pages, and also through discovery stores like this. Obviously on the PlayStation Store you can scroll through and you'll see Wuthering Waves there, and the same goes for literally anything else, which also means that I maybe think it might be a good idea to add it onto Steam, maybe have a Steam version. Obviously some other gacha games do have that, and it's worked out very, very well for them, because again, the discovery is just so much better and you're able to advertise it much easier, meaning that you could pick up a couple of other players just coming through the Steam thing. Now I'm not saying that it should, like, all the launchers should move over to Steam, but I think just maybe having that option there for people to download it, and then it just literally just takes them to the launcher or whatever, honestly that would be pretty cool. Obviously, you know, Steam provides no actual kind of other sentiment behind it, apart from, you know, it just being easy to discover and easy to find, and maybe a lot of people will kind of download it, because I'm sure there will be an influx of people downloading on Steam, maybe because they want to have it in their library. And also, if you add all the tags onto it, for example, like anime tags and stuff like that, if you search like anime free to play, Wuthering Waves would definitely be on the top there if they did actually get featured on Steam. So it would be really nice to see if they actually, you know, went on Steam, went on Xbox, and some of these other sites, because again, it would just be a massive, massive benefit to the game and its growth. Now obviously I'm looking forward to the Wuthering Waves release over on the Mac, because it can prove that, you know, new platforms are really good for the company and for the game in general, and I hope that does send a message to Wuthering Waves and Kuro Games that getting it out on as many platforms as possible is going to be massively beneficial, and that, you know, even with this version 2.0 thing, as I said before, you know, PlayStation has definitely proved that, you know, bringing it out on different platforms, bringing it out in different areas is definitely going to help it improve. Obviously, if you saw my last videos recently, I talked about the revenue. Obviously revenue has gone up massively. Obviously this wasn't including the PlayStation revenue or anything like that, but it does prove how much the update has actually kind of been hyped up a little bit more, and how much, you know, people are actually interacting with it, and a lot of that is to do with the PlayStation players. I've had a lot of commenters on my kind of you know, YouTube channels, on my Twitch, everything like that, saying they're actually playing on PlayStation. And I even remember before it even came out on PlayStation, there was tons of people in my comments saying I really hope it does come out. Now there has been a couple of issues with PlayStation and the overall compatibility, which I think is what the biggest issue is going to be for Kuro Games. I don't think Kuro Games is going to be the type that goes, nah, we're just going to ignore the fact that people want platforms. I think they do understand that players really want this to come out on as many platforms as possible. I think the main kind of caveat and the main thing that they might be struggling with is kind of compatibility. You know, mobile, some people are still struggling, as we saw in some of the ratings in a previous video, and also there's a couple issues on PlayStation, but they're not too big. It's mainly just like kind of isolated cases between certain people and certain kind of platforms and certain kind of devices that people are playing on. So again, I think it's mainly like a case-by-case basis, and it's really not that bad, as, you know, there hasn't been, you know, too much of an outcry, but I have seen a couple of comments around like that, which obviously is something that Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves do need to kind of take into account, because again, they do care about the overall experience of a player. And obviously I think once Wuthering Waves actually does manage to come out on Nintendo Switch 2 and also Xbox, I feel like they would have completed most of the platforms that are kind of readily available and you know, are going to make a big difference to the game. I don't think, you know, going over to Xbox on Nintendo Switch, maybe Nintendo Switch could have a big impact, but I don't think they're going to have like a crazy impact to the point where it's like almost game changing, but I do think it's going to help them and help them bring in some more players just through discoverability and stuff. I don't think this is going to be one of those things where you have like a big boom of all of these people coming over from this platform. They're like, finally, this game is finally on this platform. No, I feel like it is going to be a very gradual thing, and people are going to find out about it. They're going to download it, they're going to play it, they're going to try it, and maybe get involved in the community a little bit, which obviously is a massive benefit to, you know, Wuthering Waves in general. And hopefully, you know, we do see a couple of these deals coming through. But yeah, that's what I got. Leave a comment down below if you guys think of any other platforms you want us to come to. I think these are the main ones that they are missing right now. So honestly, you know, maybe I've missed one, maybe I've missed a couple that you guys play on, But honestly, I do think they're doing a very good job at the moment with kind of getting it over to PlayStation and stuff. And obviously, as I said, you know, it's been massively successful over on PlayStation. So, you know, hopefully they can continue that kind of run. And also, you know, once they do get it out on all these platforms, actually start advertising it on these platforms too in the future. Because again, it would be really nice to see, and it would be just very beneficial for the player base in general. And, you know, it's Kura Games. They always cook with this kind of stuff. They always listen with this kind of stuff. So I'll definitely be sat here making a video, maybe in the future, talking about it. But for now, you know, it's just a kind of hope. Yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, guys. Did enjoy this video. And also go to GamerSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. Again, go over there, use my code Kazza, 10% off. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.